the implications for what the child is saying are also relevant. In court, though often forgotten, statements made by the children should be subject to the same standards of assessment of the credibility and reliability of those statements. And those are two different contexts. Credibility, of course, is a child making things up or grossly exaggerating things that they know not to be true in order to achieve the result that they want, which is to just go and live primarily or exclusively with one parent and have little to no involvement with the other parent and their extended family. Reliability, a different concept, goes to even absolutely believed statements of the child and even of the other side, but that you can unpack, peel back the layers of the onion, and show that it is the result of grooming and manipulation and cognitive errors, misinterpretation of events and motives, and just built up over time into what is being expressed later on in the heat of the case, but which, if you went back down to its root, you would find something entirely different, entirely minor, entirely resolvable with a little bit of good faith discussion. And in this presentation, I also refer to the whack-a-mole model, which, for those of you familiar with the arcade game, every time you whack a mole, another mole or two pops up through other holes. And it's like that with these false narratives, where when you actually get a form and get the chance to shine a light on it, they just dissipate, only to be replaced by others that you've never even heard of before. So this is one of the techniques. If you can recognize the whack-a-mole sort of dynamic in a case, it's meaningful in terms of analyzing what's going on. So I had boiled down in this Florida Bar Association presentation about 15 or 16 tools of analysis in whatever I mentioned, about 5 or 6 forums that this could be relevant in. And I'll just mention them briefly here because I want to get to the brain science and you'll all have this presentation. So tool number 1, assemble objectively determinable facts and observations from people other than those directly involved in the case, and look at the children's behavior as opposed to what they're articulating at various points along the timeline of the alleged events. And you're trying to show as many discontinuities as possible. Tool 2, look for the illogical or atypical manner in which the allegations arose. Does it look like something scripted because even if it was true, it would arise at a time and in a manner and told to people in differently than what actually occurred? Tool 3, and here's where we're starting to introduce some memory science. Recovered memories of events supposedly having occurred long before are suspicious. Facts demonstrating non-compliance with the science of memory formation and the science of children being suggestible, there's a lot of science on that point as well, are important to bring forward. And that is because, as you'll see shortly, there's definitive science that the memory of events degrades over time, doesn't get enhanced over time. You don't suddenly recover vivid, detailed memories of an event. And it's also influenced by the environment in which the person is living, suggestion, and coaching, and in particular, memory can be corrupted by repeated questioning over time, which suggests to the child that that wasn't my experience, but why are all these adults continually asking me questions about, did my mom do this? Did my mom do that? Children and even adults tend to fill in gaps. So something doesn't fit, their experience is different than what all these adults are asking them to reflect about. And that can lead actually to a confabulation or the creation of a memory by the mind to just connect disparate pieces of information in a way that then seems consistent with the child's experience.